on your show, Bridget. I'm really happy to be
Thank
on your show
you.
today. I know that your audience, they have been waiting and they have been so patiently. So, audience, I promise you today that you are going to enjoy this show. This
Yes.
show is going to be deep and thorough. We're going to give it all to you in this show. I promise you.
Yes. Powerful. Awesome. Awesome. I have some awesome questions I wanted to ask you because first we wanted to know who is Janelle Drayton? Where did you start? How did you know this is something that you wanted to do? What inspired you to start on this journey? And then we'll get into details about the rest. Go ahead, share with us who you are, where you're from, and how did you embark on this journey?
Okay, so for those of you that are watching, I'm an island girl. I'm an island gal. I'm from the beautiful island of the Bahamas.
Woohoo!
Eleuthera, Bahamas, the big 242. That's where I'm from, representing the Bahamas. So yeah, Bridget, I'm excited. First of all, thank you so much for having me on your show again. I am from the beautiful island of the Bahamas, and I believe that everyone have a story. Everyone has an amazing story, an amazing journey that they've been on. Something that can inspire someone, something that can help someone. When I was about 9.5 years old, Bridget, I found myself searching for my purpose. I don't know if you remember these compact mirrors, you know, the little ones with the face powder in it.
Yes.
And I remember being on my parents' porch and I looked into it, and it was the first time I really discovered that I had a really big nose. Okay. I
Mm.
had this big nose, and I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, God, there got to be more to life than just this. I mean, it's got to be something more that I can look forward to. And I believe it was ever since that day I've been on this journey, just to try to find out why I'm here. You know, I know that there are many of you that are watching that, you know, you ask yourself the same question, why am I here? And that's something that I've been thinking about. And Bridget, when I was about 10 years old, um, my dad owned a boat and he was picking me up from elementary school and he was going to take me home, which was about 8 minute car drive. But he wanted to take me by boat. You know, Bahamians can show off sometimes. So he picked me up and took me to the dock and we got into this little boat, and when we got in the boat, I heard a voice say to me, the voice said, "Sit down at the bottom." And I don't know, I was young at that time, not sure what that
Right,
voice
right,
was,
right.
not sure if that was Jesus speaking to me or what. But I sat down at the bottom of the boat, right? And so my
Yes.
dad got in, and I think another guy got in the boat. And when he pulled the thing that starts the boat, the engine, the boat
Wow.
began to spin around and it flipped over. Bridget, it threw both of them out of the boat. But for some reason, it flipped over. And when the boat landed right up, I was still sitting in the boat. Now,
Wow.
that in itself was amazing. And that's one of the things that I would never, ever, ever forget. And I often go back to that place and I'm like, why did I survive this? You know, this could
Mm.
have been a tragic accident. You know, this could have taken my life. And there's so
Right.
many other different things that happened to me where I shouldn't have been here, Bridget. To tell you the truth, I really shouldn't have been here, but by the grace and mercy of God. And so that put me on a quest to find out why I'm here. And Bridget, finding out your purpose is one of the most beautiful journeys that you can ever go on. You know,
Oh
once
yeah.
I understood who I
Oh
was,
yeah.
then it made my life so much more fulfilling. So,
Yeah.
you know, I love to sing. So I'm a singer. I'm a recording artist. I am also
Right.
an author because I like to talk. And sometimes I have no one to talk to. So I have to write it down. So I'm an author as
Right.
well. Um, I have three amazing, beautiful daughters that I love
Yes.
dearly.
Yes.
Um, my husband is Cedero, Pastor Cedero Drayton. I do a lot of things, Bridget. I'm a life fulfillment coach. So what I do, I help people uncover their true purpose and unravel it all and live a fulfilled life. Because let me tell you something, if you don't know who you are,
Mhm.
you don't have an understanding of why you're here and where you're going, you're not going to serve this world any justice. And I believe that our story should inspire someone. It should inspire people to become greater, to become better, to be stronger. And I think it's very important right now as women of color that we encourage other women, you know, even though you may not feel so good about yourself, you may not feel so confident. I told you I didn't realize I had a big nose, Bridget. Like I looked in the mirror and I saw like this big nose, and I'm like, oh my God. but I had to get to the place where I got comfortable in my skin and I was comfortable
Oh, yeah.
with the way I look. This is me. This is me.
Yeah,
Love it, like it, or dislike it. I don't care. This
that's
is who I
right.
am. And I'm comfortable with that, Bridget. I'm
That's right.
comfortable with myself. And so that's what I want to do. I just want to share this message. I just want to help people find out who they are and why they're here. What is your purpose? Because once you
Mm.
find out your purpose, it is powerful. It's like finding out that you have superpowers,
Come
because
on,
you're able to
somebody.
do super things and you're able to become this extraordinary person. So that's what I do as a life fulfillment coach.
Awesome. I think that is beautiful. I love the rendition of, you know what, something miraculous happened and it made you realize the value of your life actually and the purpose behind it. And that's so daunting. And we can break down purpose all the way back to the common denominator, which is identity.
Yeah,
Without your identity, you don't know your value. And when you don't know your value, you don't know your purpose. And that's the state we are in. The moment you recognize who you are and why you are who you are, then things begin to change. Your perspective about life and why you do what you do begin to show you, hey, I am somebody with worth, no matter what color of skin I am, like you said, and how we can encourage each other in that walk. What we can do is just inspire others by letting our own light shine first. You know, there's this famous quote by Marianne, and she says, our deepest fear is really not that we are inadequate, but our deepest fear is that we are more powerful than we really imagine. And it is our light and not our darkness that most frighten us. Because when we realize the potential within a human soul, we transform ourselves, and by default, we transform others. That's the power of personal development and self-care. That's the power of being my best self and presenting that to the table. And once that foundation is solid, then you
right.
can transfer and manifest in any other area of life. So tell us how you went on your weight loss journey and used that identity and embracing all of your features and bringing your best self forward. How did you do that?
Bridget, I'm so happy you mentioned identity, your identity being wrapped up in your purpose, because there was a time, Bridget, believe it or not, I know it's going to be hard to believe, but there was a time when I had no clue who I was. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know whose I was. I was not confident at all. I lacked self-esteem. I didn't think that I was worthy. I didn't think that I was pretty enough. I don't know if you can see, but I have like these little itty bitty Chinese eyes. And
Beautiful eyes. I love your eyes.
listen, they are beautiful to me now, but when I was growing up, I used to get picked on a lot because my eyes, and they used to, come in front of me. How many fingers am I holding up? Can you see how many, count how many fingers? And I'm like, I knew exactly what you're doing. But, it was something that I was not confident in. I wasn't confident. When I was growing up, girl, I had some spots on my legs. Look here. It was like,
And the eyelids, when you wear them uniform with the skirt, your legs gotta look cute.
they called me Raisin Girl, okay?
Oh, yeah,
Because I had raisins all on my legs. So all of those things, caused me to be so self-conscious. Like, I would look at other ladies and I'd be like, okay, yeah, her face is smooth, she have a cute little nose and a nice little petite shape. And I was like, but me on the other hand, and I would find so many different ways or reason to criticize myself, Bridget. But then, like I said, on this journey of uncovering who I am, it caused me to know my identity. First of all, I had to know my identity in Christ. I had to know who I was. I had to know who God said that I was. I had to know that I am fearfully and I am wonderfully made, that I'm perfect. Yeah. And I know that full well. And once I got an understanding and a deep revelation of who God said that I was, I began to believe it. I said, you know what? I believe that that's who I am. I believe that I'm royalty. I believe that I'm royal priesthood. And so when I started this journey, Bridget, and I believe all of us have these self-discovery journeys, these moments where we go on this quest where we want to personally, develop ourselves. And at the beginning of the year, well, actually, it started December 31st, 2019. So December 31st, 2019, my husband and I, we spent the New Year's in Jacksonville. And, it's a custom for us Bahamians. We go to church for New Year's, no matter what you're doing, Bridget, that you got to be in the house of the Lord
Oh yeah.
December 31st, because Jesus could come, he could come at 12 o'clock and you need to be found in the right place,
That's right.
So, of course, we went to a service. Like went in like about 8, came out 10. And I still wasn't satisfied. I'm like, I'm used to being in church till 12 o'clock. Tell the watchman, what's the hour? The countdown. So we went to another service, and it was in Jacksonville, Florida. And the pastor was preaching. He was preaching a very powerful message. But Bridget, all of a sudden, there was just warmness that filled my body from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet. And I just remember crying, and I was just saying, God, I do not want my 2020 to be anything like my 2019. My 2019 has been a year of procrastination, a year of excuses, a year of I shoulda, coulda, woulda, but I didn't. It was just overwhelming. And I knew that God had called me to greater and to do more, but I allowed myself to become complacent in my circumstances. I allowed the energy of what was consuming around me to dictate what I did mentally, physically, what I felt emotionally. And therefore, I did nothing, Bridget. I did absolutely nothing. And so I said, God, I want my 2020 to be different. I don't want this to be a year of excuses. I want to be better. I want to be, I want to be the woman that you've called me to be. Yeah. And Bridget, I kid you not, it was like electricity that hit my body. It was something supernatural that happened. And I know it sounds spooky, guys, but I'm serious. It's like an anointing or the grace that hit me, and it went from my head down to my feet, and I just felt it, and I was crying uncontrollably. And I don't know if my husband saw me or, what it was, but they was counting down. And once we got into January 1st, Bridget, it was like a light switch had flipped on. I was like this new person. It was like my thoughts, like I was transformed by the renewing of my mind. My thoughts were transformed. The way I looked at things, my perceptual lens was transformed. And I'm like, okay. So I was eager. To get back to Georgia so that I can start this quest, and I got home and I made it in my mind, Bridget, that I was going to change the way I ate. I was going to change the things that I do, the way I thought. I know that change could not take place until I shifted my mindset. And shifting my mindset was more than just saying, oh, I'm going to go on a diet. No, I'm not on a diet. What I am on is a life journey where I am on a journey and I am enjoying every bit of it, every moment. I am savoring the moment of everything that I'm going through right now. And so, Bridget, as a result of all of that, I have lost over 50 pounds. Woo! I am
That's awesome.
So Bridget, I used to be a size 16, 18, but now I'm a size 10, 12. And I'm grateful. And a lot of people have been messaging me and asking me, oh, what have you done? What do you eat? Can you tell me? But I want to say this to you today. It's not so much of what I've done, but it's what happened to my mind. What has transformed my life was what happened in my mind and how I was able to see myself, how I was able to look at myself in the mirror and come to terms with, okay, I don't like the person that I see. I don't like this person that I've become, this person that's out of control, this person that's an emotional eater. Like I ate sugar just because, Bridget. I ate it just because it was hot. I ate it just because it was cold. I ate it just because it was in the middle of the day. There was no reason. I needed no reason to eat sugar. So I said, God, this is something that's going to be hard for me because I love to eat. Us the island girls, we love to cook, we love to eat. But I realized that if I was going to be around for my children, that I was going to be the better version of myself, that I needed to do something different. And Bridget, before we leave, I'm going to show you a pants that I wore, girl. This pants, as I was cleaning out my closet, I found this pants that I loved dearly. It was like the best thing since sliced bread. And I looked at the pants and I almost thought that it had belonged to someone else. I'm like, who was in my house? But if it wasn't a pants that I had really liked, Bridget, I would never know that it belonged to me. It was just so huge. And I'm like, I cannot believe that this pants was the pants that I wore. But, I'm grateful. And I thank God for the transformation. So what I'm doing, Bridget, I'm inspiring other people as a life fulfillment coach. Your journey may not be weight loss. You may be nice and slim like you, Bridget. You may be, got it at the Coca-Cola shape in all the right places. So this transformation may not be for you. But the thing about it is, this has not only changed my outer appearance, but it's also changed my inward person, who I am.
Let me jump onto that. Let me jump onto the changing of the inner person, because I love where you're taking it. And you know what? It's not really about the size. It's all about the healthiness behind it. And notice how your identity, which embodies your physicality, also transform your mindset. And a lot of people don't know this, and you touched a lot of psychological points here, and I'm going to jump right in. There's a topic called neurogenetics, right? Mm-hmm. Then there's a topic called neuropsychology, but then there's a new one called epigenetics. And epigenetics was this guy who was a health nutritionist, right? Mm-hmm. And what he discovered was a lot of individuals lost the weight physically, but they never lost it mentally. So when you started with the transformation coming mentally, having a mindset shift, the right perspective, wanting more out of life, not because you wanted to fit into anybody's magazine cookie cutter, it's because you knew you wanted to bring your best self into 2020. And then that inner part of you translated onto the outer, and it caused you to be disciplined. It caused you to face your fears. It caused you to address the elephant in the room. It caused you to, let's just say, hey, I know I can do this. I know who I am. You know what? I was made in his perfect image. And I know you said weight loss was not my struggle, but let me tell you, it has been for me. And as you can tell, I have lost some inches because I too am an emotional eater. And the difference is because as a believer, I fast a lot. It's become an advantage, but it's never been the reason why I did it. So for me, your testimony is more concrete and accurate because this is your story. And I love it. And I know there's a lot of people out here who are going to relate with that. There's a lot of women who are not overweight or obese because, you know what, that's just how they were born. But a lot of women, they are obese because psychologically, emotionally, something in their environment that they have yet to address led to those habits that you had to recondition, that you had to reprogram in you, that allowed this transformed, beautiful woman of God who was confident, standing in her rightful place, doing what God called her to do, as well as extending your life. Because when you eat healthy, you extend your life. And on this page, we are all about inspiring women to be business owners, entrepreneurs, being their best self. And so your story was so perfect for the platform, and I love it. So I know on the last show, you actually went down into detail about what you stopped eating, what you did. See, a lot of people in 2020 on their vision board, that's exactly what's on their weight loss. But a lot of people have yet to do the mindset shift you did. And then two, do the work that it takes. It's 80% psychology, but it's 20% skill set. And so you could wish it all you want, but if you're not implementing the steps, it won't materialize. Tell us how you made your vision become a reality.
Well, first of all, Bridget, I did do a vision board. I really did do a vision board. And on my vision board, I did have that I want to lose 75 pounds. I did have it. One of the things that I wanted to do, because I know that I was an emotional eater and I ate everything for no reason, Bridget, I needed to really do a big shift. So I started off fasting, just like you said. I started off fasting, and I knew that I needed God to give me the strength to do what it was that I was doing. And I said, okay, so God, I'm going to fast with just water. I'm going to start this fast off. I'm going to dedicate this 21 days, and I'm going to jump into the Daniel fast. So what I did for the first 21 days in January, I started off with the Daniel fast. That means I just drank water all day, and then I would eat like brown rice. I would eat grains. I would eat nuts and beans and peas and that sort of stuff, and just once a day. So after I did 21 days, I said, God, if you can take me through 21 days, for 30 days, if you can take me on this journey, I will give you 60. So Bridget, so I decided that I wasn't going to eat meat. I wasn't going to eat starch. I wasn't going to have no sugar, no cookies, no bread, no flour.
No bread.
I know all the things that I love. I said, you know what? I'm going to go all in. So I passed 30 days, went into 60. I said, God, if you could give me 60 days, I'll go into 90. And Bridget, it has been from January 6th. It's now what? June 7th. And I'm still on this journey. And I've embraced who I am. I've embraced who I've become, because it's not that I didn't think that I was beautiful. It's not that, like you said, I wanted to fit on somebody's magazine, but I wanted to become a better version of myself. And it's all wrapped up in personal development. You know, it's easy for us to get on here and to tell people, oh, you know, you need to shift your mindset. You need to do this and you need to do that. But when people can see that you live the story that you are speaking about, when people can see that you are walking the same journey that they are on, it makes it more believable, you know? And so it's been an amazing journey, and I kid you not, I am loving it, Bridget. I am loving this body. I do want to show you my pants. So let me know when you want to see it, okay? But this here
we will wrap it up with that. But before we get into awesome. I love it. There you go. Beautiful. I see your vision board.
Yep. And it has
I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I see that. Well, this is my vision board behind me, and then I also have it digitally. So that's why I pointed to the vision board. So vision board is key, but what you did additionally to that is you actually walked it out. And I think that is very most impressive, because it's harder for us to actually walk out what we want compared to us just saying it. And I loved how, like a butterfly, you actually went through the different stages, and I'm sure you had your moments of, should I get off this? Should I stop? I'm sure you had those psychological battles, those conversations, and I'm sure you had to toughen your way through it. So I want you to just break down, what were you telling yourself while you were on this journey to keep up the faith, to stay motivated, and to stay encouraged?
Bridget, I'm so glad you brought that up, because this was something that I wanted to talk about. I believe in the law of confession. On this journey, you're going to have people, as soon as you decide that you want to make a life transformational decision that's going to change your life, there are going to be those people that are going to come, and all of a sudden they want to take you out for dinner. They want to know what you want for lunch. Oh, it's going to be lunch on the boss. It's going to be lunch on the job. It's going to be, you know, if you want to see some food, go on a fast. And I mean, everyone will be trying to buy you donuts, hot glazing donuts from Krispy Kremes. You know what? Oh my God. So it's there. But the thing about it is, Bridget, because my mind was transformed, the temptation didn't bother me. But at the moments where my stomach started to growl, and the only thing I had that I was going to drink or eat for that day was the water, I said to myself, I had to go take a minute, go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, and I would speak words of affirmation over myself. I would say, look, you know, the journey is hard right now, but if you remain faithful, if you remain dedicated and committed, then you're going to love the results. So just stay focused. And I would say encouraging words. I would say scriptures. One of my favorite scriptures is Philippians 4:13, that says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It's something that I live off of. Like, I can do this. And every time I feel like I can't, I would have to look myself in the mirror. See, it's something about looking directly at the man that's in the mirror. You're talking to yourself and you're looking at yourself, and it's like, hey, look, you're almost there. You're doing it. You're doing great. Just keep it up. You're amazing. You're beautiful. Look at your skin. And I would just say those things, and then I would start blushing at myself, and I would just begin to glow. And when I come out of the bathroom, and they're like, do you want a slice of pizza? And I'm like, no, thank you. I think I'm just going to have some water. So it made it easier. When you understand your purpose and you go on this journey to self-fulfillment and to find out, you know, your purpose in this journey, you then have a vision. And then you know the things that you're not going to do. So your vision dictates what you do and what you don't do. In other words, that's what I'm trying to say. Your vision dictates the time you spend on Facebook. Your vision dictates the time you spend hanging out with your friends. You know, how is that building your goals, your life goals, the things that you want to accomplish? How are you coming any closer to the things that you put on your vision board? Like, you know, you gotta, that's why you have to have a vision, because if you don't have a vision, you won't just do anything, and you're going to end up nowhere.
My Lord, and that is so powerful. It's
Yes,
like that key theme right there is like your vision is the navigation board.
it
It's the
is.
thing, the Northern Star that's going to show you to the end destination. So why don't you go ahead and show us the pans that you were talking about? Let's see, because I'm sure a lot of
Woo!
people want to
So
see
look,
that.
girl, for this pet, you know, don't judge me.
No, we won't.
This is the girl that I was, and take a look at this pants. Can you see all of it?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay, this is the pants
Hmm.
that I wore. It is half of my body.
Wow, we could see that. Wow. Okay, so
And
you really did lose a lot of weight. Good job, Janelle.
I can get all of my body just in one leg. So I'm in one leg
Wow.
of the pants, and this is the other leg here. So I'm in just one leg of the pants. So it's an amazing journey, and I'm very grateful for it. But I want to tell your people that are listening and that are watching. Once you make up your mind that you're going to do this thing, whatever that thing is for you, whether it's losing weight, whether it's getting a promotion in your career, no matter what it is, when your mind is transformed, it causes you to become this person. You no longer walk the way you walk. You own every bit of your space. You
Come
own
on.
who you are. It's like your identity. And people say to me, they say, girl, what is up with you? What has changed? Like you're just glowing and you just whiffing around here and I'm like, look, baby, I'm a new person. I'm a new person. If any man
Yeah,
be in Christ, he is a new
yeah, yeah,
creature.
yeah.
All things have passed away. Behold, all things are made new. Baby, this is the new and improved me. I like to call this my version 2.0.
I love it. I love it. I
Yes,
love it. I love the version 2.0.
yes,
And you know
ma'am.
what I love about your story? And it all coincides with self-love. You can see it, you can feel it, it exudes through the screen. Your passion is there. We love it. And this is what this show is all about, passion hacking your DNA. That means going inside of yourself, investigating who has the creator God create me to be, and how can I manifest this in this earth realm? How can I use 2020 to leave my imprint? And you know, we all go through different journeys of transformation. And this
Mhm.
was yours. It might have been a physical one, but some of us, we have a psychological one, an emotional one, a financial one, a pandemic one, something that is societal right now. And we all are learning how to create a new norm for ourselves in 2020. I am so excited and honored to be in this year because we get to change the trajectory of the next decade. And it's us, a word God gave me for this year. And I'm so amazed that it's actually manifesting without me even trying to be intentional. You know, this is the year of the mouth in the Jewish calendar. And the beginning of the year, I heard the Holy Spirit tell me, you shall see what you have heard, and you will see what you have spoken. So everything you says encompasses, I'm declaring what I want to see manifest in my life. I'm speaking into the atmosphere. I refuse to give up on the promises that the Lord God promised me. I refuse to give up on myself. I refuse to give up on the next level. It doesn't matter what's going on around me. I'm like a freight train and I'm going to move through the storms bit by bit, fight by fight, blow by blow,
Right.
because I will manifest the destiny, the vision, the God given
Absolutely.
vision that I see myself being, having, and doing.
Absolutely.
And to transition into our close, because this has been powerful. I think you came in ready, knockout, pow wow. You hit
Uh-huh. Yes,
almost
ma'am.
everything on the tier.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know this one thing. Let us know what it was like before and after. I know you spoke it on, but just explain before, how was Janelle, and after. Let us see the transformation, like literally word by word.
So you still have the same bubbly person, the same
Mhm.
person, but I wanted to get a little deeper into what God has called me to do, the things or the person that God has chosen me to be. I'm a radical person. I am really radical, Bridget, and I didn't have the energy. You know, Ronnie Butler sang a song, "Age Ain't Nothing But a Number," but along with the age came some knee pains, and I realized that I need to make a change in my life. Michael Jackson says, gonna make a change for once in my life. Woo! And then the prince may be gone now, but you got to look yourself in
Come
the
on.
mirror and you've got to make that change. You got to be the change that you want to see happen. And so as I begin to evolve or metamorphosize into this, from this caterpillar into this butterfly, the thing about it now, Bridget, is I'm unstoppable now.
Come on, somebody.
Where I'm not just on this journey for myself. Everything that we experience, Bridget, is for somebody else.
Come on.
It's for some other woman that lacks self-esteem. See, let me tell you something, Bridget. When you don't know your identity and you are really questioning, you're at the place where you're confused with your purpose, you make a lot of bad choices. You make a lot of bad choices, even in relationships. Now, I know that there are some of your viewers and your watchers, they can say, oh my God, I wish I had known now or then what I know now. I wouldn't have chosen to be with this person. I wouldn't have done this and I wouldn't have done that. We make a lot of stupid choices when we lack vision, when we lack the understanding of our purpose. And so not having a true identity of yourself can cause you to even be in the wrong relationship with another man or another woman. You know what I'm saying? Like you can make those choices based off of your emotional lack. And so my journey now, Bridget, I am helping women and men. Anyone you lack self-esteem, you want to be confident. I have this confidence university that this confidence program that I'm building for online now. And it's basically teaching you how to have that confidence and demanding that confidence when you step into a room. When you step into a room, they ought to know that you are there, Bridget. They ought to know. And I don't want to be anywhere when once I leave, they don't remember I was ever even there. I want you to know that when Janelle has gone and left the building, oh my God, she was here. I want to be present. I want to be in a present state that I am able to embrace every moment. And that can go as far as your career. Bridget, my career has taken off like a rocket because I know who I am. You know, I understand and I've embraced the leader that I am inside of me. And so I no longer sit down and wait to be told what to do and sit at the back. But I'm the one that's setting the trend. I'm the one that's initiative. I'm the one that's taking ownership and taking ownership of the path that I'm on. And I'm just doing it, Bridget. And that's what I want to help other women do. I want to help people accomplish that because you know what? I can't keep it to myself, Bridget. It's not just for me, but it's for somebody else along the way.
I love it. I love how you're talking about you're a trendsetter, and I love how you touched into relationships. Let's dive into that a little bit. I know the last time we did our recording and then I asked you the closing questions. I just want you to touch on it a little bit at the end when I ask the question again, so you could help some of our viewers go through that. Because even on this new page, like you said, I didn't wait. I started walking in my purpose. I created this new page in 2 weeks. I got almost 1,000 likes and I got almost people asking to join this page like clockwork. People are emailing me, messaging me, trying to reach out to me because the message is on fire and they're ready for something real. And that's how you know you're going on a course that God has designed for your life because of the anointing that's behind it. But this has been so powerful. I love your story, your journey from who you were and who you are now, version 2.0. We got to see the transition and the no excuses. I just want to end with these few questions, Janelle, like we did, and you can go into it as you see fit. I think this was so powerful. You set us ablaze, and we're ready to ignite 2020 and take our power back. Okay, so just 3 questions. Who would you like to speak to, dead or alive, and ask them any question? That's 1. Number 2, what would you tell your younger self? And something that you wanted to tell them now that you realize that you wish you could have told them then, not that you would change anything, right? And then 3, what is the last words you want to leave with the audience and how we could reach you?
You know, Bridget, okay, so I do take my ginkgo biloba, so that's supposed to be helpful with my memory. So let's see if I can remember the first question. So the first question was, if there was someone that I can talk to, dead or alive, who would that person be? That person would definitely be Tyler Perry, okay? I love his tenacity. I love the way he has overcome challenges. I want to know from him, what was that breaking point, that moment that you decided that, hey, I'm not going to take down. Yeah, the few plays I did, they were all a flop. I lost money, but I'm going to get up and try again. Because that is what motivates me. That is what motivates me. Because see, you need someone that's going to minister to you when you are in that dark place, when it's dark and you got nobody to turn to, and you just need to find that inner strength that's going to get you to get up,
very good,
yourself off, and keep it moving. Okay, so what if you had an event and nobody showed up? It's all right. I'm going to have another event. So what if you did an album and nobody purchased it? You know what? I'm going to do another one. So what if you wrote a book and it wasn't on the New York bestsellers list? That's okay. I'm going to do it again. Because guess what? You are one person away. You are just one person away from stepping into greatness. Just one person away. Just one person can change your life, can change the trajectory of your life. Just one person. One phone call away from, just being this amazing person that God has called you to be. I know that I would love to work with Tyler Perry. And Tyler Perry, if you are listening to this, I am Janelle E. I am ready to go. Your hostess with the mostest, giving you something for your mind, giving you something for your body, and giving you something for your soul. And I would love the opportunity to work with you.
Yes. Okay, that's awesome. And question 2 is, what would you tell your younger self? Because on the last episode, you spoke a little bit about relationships, and I think that was so content because the man that you're married to today is awesome. I actually hired you guys to come and speak at my event because I love the dynamics of you and him relationally, because you could be around people and you can tell the energy. You can tell when it's genuine. You could tell when somebody's heart and soul is in it. And I really see how he adores you, and I really see how you admire him, and I love your new powerful on fire power couple dynamic that you guys are. So touch on that for us, please.
Like I mentioned earlier, Bridget, when you don't know who you are and you are, you're undecisive about your identity, it causes you to make a lot of choices. Okay. And that was something that I faced. If one of the things that I would tell a younger version of me is, this is your path. You're going to have to create your own story and not allow anyone else to dictate the route that you're going to take. I was the type of person, and I know this is an island thing, because they have so much input in our lives. They tell you what you should do.
Let me tell you.
Who you should marry, how many kids you should marry. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I felt like I had to be that type of person that I wanted to please everyone around me. You can't please everyone around you. You can't please people being a copycat. Only the original you, the original masterpiece that God created you to be. That's the only person that can bring you fulfillment. And so me trying to be funny over here, just for this crowd to like me, I'm marrying this person so I can fit in over here. And when I realized that it was really not what Janelle wanted, I thank God for the experience, because it all groomed me to be this person that I am today. But I'm like, God, I can see the mistakes that I've made based off of me not understanding my purpose. Because if I had knew my purpose then, I wouldn't have done this. And I have known you called me to do that, I wouldn't have done that. But I thank God that He's a God of a second chance.
Hallelujah.
And a third chance. And some of us on chance number 1,000.
And here you are, you found love again, and you are now married to a mighty man of God. So God truly is the author and the finisher of your story.
Yes. And so to be able to find love again, it's amazing, especially when you've been hurt, Bridget. I know that there are a lot of you that are being hurt. Yep, I've been hurt. I have been hurt so many times and in broken relationships. But God, He will restore all the years of the cankerworm and the palmer worm, the caterpillar, all of those locusts that have eaten up. He will restore the time. He will give you back the years. So now, Bridget, I am living my best life now. I was in my 20s. Yeah, but look at a girl, Black Don't Crack girl. I'm back in my 20s.
Come on, go ahead.
I am living it. I'm loving it. Yes.
And you know what I love about it? Especially in our culture, people don't believe you can recover from divorce. And that's what you touched on the last show. And I love how, you know what, you are showing proof that God still honors marriage and he can still bless you with a fabulous spouse, even though the first marriage didn't work. And I love how that story had tied in on our last show. So I loved how you touched on it. It is a message of hope. And lastly, what are your last words and how can we find you and link up with you?
I want to say something. If you want something you've never had, you got to be willing to do something that you've never done in order to be someone you never were, in order to go someplace you've never been. You have to cut out the excuses. You have to stop making excuses. I run into so many people and they said, you know, I wanna lose weight, but I can't stop eating this. No, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. You can stop eating it. You can control this flesh. You can put this flesh under subjection and you can do it. You can do all things. There's nothing that's impossible. You know, you can do it. And that's what I want to say to people. Stop making excuses. Procrastination is disobedience in slow motion. Ooh, you know what it is?
Come on.
You procrastinate today, you know, and you procrastinate tomorrow, but you're being disobedient. You know that God has told you, hey, in order for me to take you to point A to point B to another level, I need you to become more disciplined. Your discipline has to line up with your levels. You ain't gonna go all the way up there, Bridget, with this type of discipline, because you're not going to be able to sustain yourself. So the higher you want to go in your levels, the more disciplined you're going to have to become. You know, you're going to have to put in more sweat. And so every single day, Bridget, one of the things that I love to do, my husband can tell you, my children can tell you, anyone that knows me can tell you, I work out. I work out. I am a gym beast. I am a gym rat. And I absolutely love it. And I never used to like exercise, Bridget. It was always torture. It was always a task. But now, Bridget, listen, I would leave you on the corner, picking you up at a certain time to go and work out, and I will pick you up when I get out of the gym, okay?
Yeah.
Because that's where I'm giving myself love. The Bible says that we are to love our neighbors the way we love ourselves. Well, how can you love your neighbor when you don't even know how to love yourself? Ooh. Loving yourself is eating the things that are right for your body, eating the things that's going to help you live a long life, to see your children's children. You know, you want to live to be this body here. This is the temple of the Lord. And you can't just put any old thing into it. No, you can't. And I had to learn that the hard way. And so now, as I embrace this journey, I invite all of you listeners and viewers to join me, baby. Join me. It's not hard. It may be a challenge, but once we change this here, a mindset, and we shift to that next dimension of where we now can see who God has called us to be, yeah, we got a reason. If your why makes you cry, I can help you get there.
Ooh, that's powerful. I love it. I love it. And so where can we reach you? Give us your contacts. How can we hit you up?
Absolutely, Bridget. So I am here on social media. I know I have to do better. But you can find She Inspired on Facebook. You can also find me as Miss_She Inspired on Instagram, which I'm just really learning. So I'm at both places. You can send me a message. My name is Janelle Drayton, and it's on the screen. That's my personal Facebook page as well. I'd be more than happy to answer any other additional questions, or, you know, if you want to go on this quest, yeah, I'll help you.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And, you know, I didn't go into our story, how Janelle and I met like we did at the last show, but I actually was a guest on her radio show, nationally syndicated here in Orlando. And exactly what you heard, Lady Soul, that was her talk show. And she spoke about provocative topics that would set you ablaze. And she had a lot of guests. And here am I, went to her and I said, hey, I have an idea. I want to be a concert. I want to do a conference, I mean. And she was like, well, you need to come on my show. I was like, whoa, because I was still in my shell. See, I had to overcome being too shy and shying away from the limelight. So my butterfly story was moving from the back to the front, allowing God to let the last now become the first. And I gave Janelle one of my CDs, and she was the first to actually buy it. And the actual day that we did the first interview, I was going through my book, and the book I was going through was Chicken Soup for the Soul, The Power of Positive Thinking. And the check Janelle gave me fall right out. And I was like, oh my Lord, look at this check. And the reason why I didn't spend it, because I was so shocked that somebody would actually invest into my intellectual property and felt like it was valuable. And so I kept that check because it was the first time somebody actually invested in something I created. And it just blew me away. And so that's why I always love and respect this woman of God. And it was like anything she asked me to do, I'm like, I'm there. I'm going to find a way. If I got to catch the bus, ride the train, fly, ride a bike, I'm going to be there.
Yes,
because you have to pay homage to people who've made ways for you and who've invested in you and see you at a light that you didn't even see yourself. I mean, she worked at a bike, and I would pop in, I would pop into her bike, hey, Janelle. And we just developed a relationship like that over time, which led to me inviting her to one of my women's conference, and everybody asked for you from the last time you had came, believe it or not. And she had a conference, she inspired, and she invited me. These are what you call power connections. And as women, if you can connect and stick together, you see another woman who has your values, who's trying to come up, be a liaison, you know what, inspire her to stay on that track, because every little bit counts. And I would hate to not promise this new crowd what I promised the last crowd. And I am also doing Passion Diaries. It is a platform where I'm going to invite Janelle to come and be one of our host speakers. And you can transform your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit on this excursion. She is a life coach that is phenomenal. She will teach you how to find fulfillment in every area of your life, be it financially, economically, spiritually, and relationally. You've heard her. You've seen the message. Let me tell you, with this woman, what you get is what you see. She is a bright light. And if you want anybody to speak at your next event, hit her up. If you need anybody to really mentor you in those areas, be it health, be it spiritual wise, this woman of God is the real deal. And I thank God for you being in my life. I thank God for you coming on this show. I appreciate you. We actually met at a network marketing event. So this thing is all about business empowerment. You got to get around the right place, people. You got to get there, because you're going to meet special people. You'll never know that there have been key people to transform your life. So thank you guys so much for being on Women of Passion and Power Talk Show. This is actually our first show. My co-guest, Janelle Drayton, the beautiful and the fabulous. We enjoyed you. We enjoyed your energy and your passion, and I'm sure this won't be the last time. Thank you, you guys. As always, Bridget K. Bell is there. Go on my page, Business Ownership Empowerment. You can reach me there. And the links to reach Janelle will be all up in here somewhere. Let you know you can get in touch. We love you. Be blessed. I always end with this. Baby steps leads to giant leaps. And yes, you, beautifully you will light up in such a unique way when you discover who you are and why you are who you are. Be blessed. I love you guys. Thank you, Janelle. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Bridget. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone. Bye.